Welcome to Manifesting and Spiritual Magic. We are so happy you're here.
Hi, I'm Denise Martinez Rossini, and I'm an intuitional numerologist and spiritual empowerment mentor.
My name is Cathlene Miner, author of the 30-Day Self-Perception Makeover, where you will begin to manifest your life on purpose. And together, we will show you how to use all of the universal energies to your benefit so that you can manifest the life that you desire.
Welcome. We're going to talk all about communication and how we can use practical things and universal energies in order to create the life that we desire through communication.
Absolutely. And we're in a year 3, which is a year of communication, creativity, and March, although universally vibrating as a 6, all about love, in itself is a 3, so that's about communication as well. And it's about being seen, being heard, talking to yourself, communicating with others and for others. So it's a really good time to talk about communication and how it can help you in life.
Yeah, because the first thing that always comes to my mind with communication, and since I talk so much about manifesting your life on purpose, is clarity. Clarity is key, whether or not you're talking to the universe or you're talking to a person.
Absolutely. Clarity, sometimes we feel as if we've got some sort of mind fog going on. So your light, your inner light can't shine through if you've got mind fog. So when you hear, like, old sayings have true meanings to them. So when you hear somebody say, go outside and blow the cobwebs away, that's absolutely true, because it's old energy that's stagnating around you. So that's going to stop communicational flow. So it is really good to get out into nature and blow those old cobwebs away, so you've got clarity and you can communicate. It's really important, that.
And what do you mean by blowing cobwebs away? So if I was to physically right now go stand outside and I feel foggy and I know that I've got to visually, because I think that is so important, would I like blow like that, like I'm really blowing something, or do I visualize the wind blowing it up?
You visualize it. Well, you would go out into your spiritual energy zone. So for us, that's the ocean. For some people, it's fields or forests or mountains. But you would literally go out into your energy zone, lift your light up to the sun or the moon, depending on the time of day. If there's a breeze, just let that beautiful breeze caress your skin. But otherwise, you imagine the wind just blowing all that stagnant energy away and just clearing all that mind fog from you. And you can call on Archangel Michael to help you with that as well, to cut any negative cords around you and to fill you with light. And then that helps you to communicate with yourself and to communicate with others around you too. And because you're the expert on self-talk, how important that is when we're speaking to ourselves.
I have people, we talk a lot about, I want this in my life, this is what I desire, because they're manifesting their life on purpose, but they're not clear on what it is that they do want or desire. They don't even know yet.
Yeah.
That is crucial. So by starting with, if you feel like you're foggy, going outside to your place of peace, wherever you feel that light, doing what you said to do, then really become clear on what it is that you do desire. That not only goes into manifesting your life on purpose, but in relationships, right?
Yeah.
I always say, if you get wishy-washy out, you're going to get wishy-washy back.
I love that, Kathleen. I love that.
It is so true, isn't it? I mean, if I tell somebody something and I'm not even clear on it, and then they go do that thing, I didn't even really tell them what to do because I wasn't clear on what I was doing, what I was saying. But it goes in with the universe as well, right? If we
absolutely
know what we're asking for. So let me just give a little tip here. When people say, well, I don't know what I want, because a lot of us don't know. If you're in that place that you feel foggy, you're not being clear, number one. That's why the things that you desire in your life are not coming into it. There's probably some other reasons we could go over too, but that's the main one. That's number one, I always like to say.
Yeah.
Ask yourself what you don't want. So when you're trying to find out what you do want, ask yourself what you don't want. Because we are conditioned to know what we don't want. When we're younger, we always ask for what we want.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
don't say, I don't want this. I mean, eventually we do, but that's when it starts to, the ego stuff starts to come in, right? So back to the tip, I think just ask yourself what you don't want and then start to switch that over.
Yeah. Yeah.
An easy way to start being clear. I mean, there's more involved in it, but that is one easy way to start being clear. So tip number 1, communication. Go clear the cobwebs. Then figure out
Yes.
what it is you do not want and start to be clear.
And exactly, because as well, when you're manifesting, use all your senses to communicate as well. You know, one of the ladies in my group was talking about this, how she manifested the car of her dreams because she imagined the feel of sitting in it. So she was had clarity with that. Sound of the car, if she was hooting a horn at somebody, and also the smell of the interior and what it would look like as well. And so she used all her senses to communicate. So clarity is so important when you're communicating, and it gives direction too. So the universe, you know, it's not just wishy-washy like you say. If you put wishy-washy out, you get wishy-washy back. So clarity is so important, and communicating truly what you do want, especially when you're in your manifesting vibe, your manifesting zone, and you're focusing on something specific. Be specific.
Well, let me just mention too. So I always have like the 6 steps of basic manifesting. And you just brought up another one of them, which is visualizing. And the reason why you're using different parts of your brain, right? So by her visualizing, feeling, and seeing it and really feeling it. And I always like to add in journaling with it or writing it down, because there again, then you have another part of your brain, right? Because we have to use our hands.
Yes.
Right? And when we're visualizing all that at the same time, but I 100% agree, because that is one of the basics of manifesting, is being able to get into the feeling place and visualizing it and sitting in that car. And how does it ride? What does it look like in your driveway? Where are you going to park it? What color is it? And even if you don't get that color, it's probably the color, it's going to come in a color that you wanted even more. You just didn't even know it because you're going to love it. So I guess we'll stick with communication, but we could get all into a whole manifesting talk here.
Well, that in May.
Oh, we'll be going over this. Another thing that is a key in communication is assertiveness.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
And not saying it in a way of being like, this is what I want and this is what's going to happen, but actually putting your point across, right? We have clarity, putting our point across the right way, but being consistent with it and persistent with a fine line, but stick to what it is that you really do desire and want. You don't be, like I said, wishy-washy. If you really feel like your intuition is telling you this is it, and somebody comes to you and says, well, I just am thinking that whatever. If it feels right, yes, entertain the idea, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still does not. Be assertive in a way that you're like, no, this is what I feel. That goes back to following our intuition 100%, right? And trusting our intuition, which goes back to how you feel about yourself anyway. But, right, when we trust our intuition 100%, we can be more.
Absolutely. And you know you're on the right path when you get that good feeling, you get that intuitional vibe. You know, you might be seeing signs, but so often we listen to what other people talk to us about. We're influenced by society, and a lot of the time, the people that try and dissuade you from your path are those closest to you. And you know, we have to be understanding of that, because sometimes it doesn't come from a place of them not wanting things for you. It comes from a place of fear through love, but because they're scared of you failing, and they just want to keep you snuggled in, when keeping your comfort zone, stay where it's safe. Don't try and climb out of the bucket, the bucket of crab story. Don't try and climb out of the bucket. But we have to understand that sometimes it's just through fear, but it's through love as well. But it's so important to keep focused on your own path and be assertive. Like you say, be assertive, be persistent. We have to remember emotion is a gift. I think it was Buddha said, emotion is a gift. You don't have to always accept it. So if somebody's trying to communicate you off your path with fear, you can acknowledge that, but don't take that into your heart, stick to your path, stick to your own assertiveness and your persistence, if you like. You don't have to take other emotions on into your heart. You can just bear witness to them and then just let them be. I think so many of us are dissuaded from what we really want by the opinion of others, and we should listen to what we're communicating to ourselves. That is such an important factor, and you're so good with that. You're so good with that within your book, how you explain listening to yourself and seeing yourself as well. Be heard and be seen as well. Absolutely.
While feeling that, really knowing that your intuition is what you're following and it's 100%. But what I like that you just said that I'd like to say again, and I mean, like a lot of everything you're saying, but the fear thing, because that's something I think that people need to keep in mind. And I think we all forget it at times when there's somebody close to us and we think they not want us to get this? Do they want us to fail? I mean, is it they think that I'm not good enough for? But it may just be simple fear. Like they have empathy for you. Obviously, they're close and that's what happens. And they already feel that if something doesn't go right, you're going to feel bad.
Yeah.
And so keep that into consideration, that they might not be saying it to be mean or to downplay your dreams or to say you don't deserve this. They may just be scared for you, and they may be in a place where they aren't in with their intuition 100% either. So they're in a place, but I think that's really important to think about, because I can even think of times in my life where people have said things to me, and before I was following my intuition 100% because I didn't trust it, I would be like, oh gosh, yeah, you're right. That could, but then that fear would play into me, and then it was a whole catch-22 thing. Whereas once I started following my intuition 100%, I was like, I understand you feel that way, but this is going to work for me. I know it is. And know in the back of our minds, those people will be there for you if for some reason you do have to take a step back and you have to fall back for a little while. And saying that, we have to remember that sometimes when we're trying to say things to people, right? Because we have to think about that too. If somebody has this big dream, like our kids or somebody, and you're like, and always just be in it with them. Unless, of course, if your intuition is telling you something's dangerous or something, that's a whole different story. But I like what you said about the fear. I think that's very important for all of us to know.
I think as well, it's important, as you just said, when children have big dreams, a lot of the time, because education is so important, and a lot of the time we can quash dreams by not letting them run with it. One of the most important things I can remember from being at school many years ago was stop daydreaming. Don't spend your time daydreaming. And for me, daydreaming is so important because it grows imagination, it grows inspiration, it grows the magic, and it helps you think outside of the box. So for me, if I see a child daydreaming, I think that's brilliant. Carry on daydreaming,
Exactly. I love to ask, so what are you thinking about? And sometimes they'll say nothing, but that's not true. I'll say, I do this with my kids. People know I homeschool our two younger kids, and they're now 13 and 15, which is crazy to me. But then still, the daydreaming happens, especially with my youngest, who is very intuitive and nurtures those gifts. But she'll say nothing. I'll say, no, I know you're thinking about something. And then we get on a conversation. It opens up a conversation about things that you would have never imagined. That love that's crawling outside on the grass. Like, what does it eat? And it could be anything, but those little things really mean something to them and could lead to other questions.
And absolutely, it could lead to a new part of something they want to learn about, or or something that they might be worrying about. So daydreaming, it's so important. And just while we're touching about communication as well, just quickly touch on it with numerology, with children as well. If you have a child that's a 3, that's again the 3 energy of communication. These children never want to be quiet. A lot of them will go into entertainment, singing, music. These children are the chatterboxes, and they're bouncing energy, like Tigger. They're just bouncing up and down all the time. The worst thing you could say to that child is be quiet. That child, that's its natural energy. So I think sometimes this is why you'll see children have an affinity to different subjects at school. So if you've got a child that's a real 3, they might be drawn to art or drama or music. Children they shouldn't all be put in the same box and taught exactly the same way, because they're all different. They're all different and they have different gifts. So it's important for us to understand what our children are trying to communicate to us as well, because they'll speak in a different way when they're younger, because they haven't got like the adult understanding of language. They'll communicate through dreams, and what they're daydreaming about. How many children want to be an astronaut or even a mermaid?
Oh yeah.
So we should inspire them to communicate through their daydreaming. It's really important.
And in saying that, us as adults too, if we're daydreaming, there's nothing wrong with that. And we should really think about what we're daydreaming about, right? Like what keeps coming to mind? What do we keep daydreaming about? There's something behind that.
Absolutely. I love the way the magic of the universe works. And a lot of us, if we're in the 3 a.m. club, a lot of people get inspirational downloads and they'll say, oh, it's 3:33. And there's no coincidence. It's the universe communicating with you, and 3 is the number of communication and divine love. But it's also all about, so the universe is giving you the nudges at that time and inspiring you. And a lot of the time as well, if in the daytime you're daydreaming, that can be when you get inspired ideas and inspirations for new avenues or your business or your life. So 3 is a magical number of communication. It's just fabulous.
You were talking about when you get your messages, everybody has a different time. I personally have 2 different times. Mine is around the 3:30 time in the morning, and then the other one's when I work out, because I work out typically by myself and I get in that state. So know that, so that you can have something handy to either write or dictate yourself a note in your phone. Because you will forget it. That's the thing that I find. So when do you get your messages most?
Mine are usually around that time, 3:30, or sometimes when I'm just meditating.
Yeah, meditation.
But it's so important what you said. Eat a pen, dictate, whatever, even if you just forget, because a lot of the time it'll be a big chunk of information, just like a crazy all at once type of thing. And you think, I've got to get this down, I've got to get this down. But if you can just get a few words or a sentence down, and then you can come back to it. But having something, journaling is amazing. Journaling. And also, when you're touching on communicating through manifesting, doing your ideal day is a great way to visualize. And you're communicating to what you really want, and you're getting it out there.
That's a great way to start. I've always felt, because you're new to journaling or you're new to manifesting your life on purpose. We said we always know what we don't want. So what do you not want? Then change that into the day that it would be amazing. Even if it's over the top, right? Even if you live in a landlocked area in the middle of the farmland and you want to be at the beach, make it happen in your head. Make it happen. Write it down. Visualize it. Be there. And that is a great way to start even learning how to journal and learning how to manifest on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Most days when I'm journaling my dream day. I wake up in the south of France and my day is off to an amazing start. And I think when you do journal, if you do journal in the morning as well, it sets your vibe for the day. So it gives you a really good vibe for the rest of the day as well. But like you say, go big. Dream big. We always say dream big.
No limits. What I like to say too, like you said, dream big. pretend like there are no money limitations, no proximity, no people that you would have to think about. And I understand that in most people's lives, that's not logical, right?
Yes.
That doesn't matter because this is your ideal day and you can have your ideal day with those people in it. The fact that, oh, well, my husband has a job, so how is that going to work? That doesn't matter because I am going to tell you, and we'll talk about it today, about the stuff that I have manifested, and they have included a lot of people, and those things take a little bit longer, so be patient. Dream bigger than you could have ever imagined, ever.
And sometimes we'll put limiting glass ceilings over our head, you know, what we think we're worth, and we need to smash through those, absolutely smash through them. And like you say, be clear in what you want. Can I just show you quickly a beautiful crystal?
Yeah.
This is a populite, and this is a really good for communicating, especially with angels, and it's good for crystal. And that's a populite, and it has little inclusions of stilbite and ametrine in this one. That's a gorgeous crystal. And then I picked these up the other day. I have to show you these. These are amazing. It's called Singing Tangerine Quartz, and it's just beautiful, and it's got a really light energy from it. And that is a really good crystal to communicate, to let the past go. To, you know, it helps you to put whatever you're hanging on to put it in the past and let it go. So that's a beautiful one for communicating with yourself too.
Somebody who doesn't use crystals very often, if they were to get one of those crystals, is it best to visualize that crystal as a communicating crystal, right? Like that's what it does. It helps you to communicate, and you're then putting your visualizing your energies into that. Is that the best way for even beginners to learn and very experienced people that deal with crystals all the time?
Yeah. When you're first learning, it's best to get to know your crystals so you can sit with them within meditation or whatever, just getting to know them, hold your crystals, and you can talk to them, you can set your intentions with them. So if you're wanting to get clarity, if you're wanting better communication, you can ask your crystals to help you with that. Get the energy up and get the feel of them. And the more you work with crystals and get to know them, the energy practically speaks to you. It's amazing, the energy of crystals. And the more you get used to them, the better that is, if you like. And you'll have an affinity with certain crystals. We did a crystal grid in one of the groups the other evening, and we were using aquamarine, which is associated with the sea, the ocean, and it was just such a beautiful grid, and it gave off such an energy that while we were doing it, I put some whale song on, so we had whale songs playing as well while we were doing the grid, and it was just wonderful. So even you can use a group of crystals together to help get an overall communication for what you want, for what you desire, whether that's love, abundance, joy, whichever. But you can, the best way to start if you're just learning is to just sit and hold your crystals and set your intentions with them, and especially around the new moon as well and the full moon, and just enjoy the energy of them. And don't try and overcomplicate it, because the energy picks itself up, and you know it will grow with you.
Because you can hold the crystals and you can visualize the energies coming through. Because that's what I like to do if I'm holding one while I'm meditating. I actually will visualize them running through my body of whatever one it is. It does help. I mean, you know, all that energetic energy in the universe. So that's how we can use our practical side and our energies from the universe and make this work for us. Could you imagine everybody in the world was creating and manifesting their life on purpose? I mean, could you imagine what this world would be like?
Yeah, because really, I think it used to be about only 5% of people were using that. It's probably gone up to 7 or 10% now, but that leaves a lot of people that aren't using it. You know, universal energy. I always like to think your logic energy is your masculine energy, and your universal the magic energy is your feminine energy, you know. So if you can just put them both together, we have all these universal tools that are gifted to us. Why not embrace them and just use them? Like the clarity for manifesting, just for bringing the magic into your life. Magic in, magic out. Not, as you say, wishy-washy in, wishy-washy out.
We don't want
so
that.
True. That's
We don't
so
want
true.
We want the magic in and the magic out, which is
We absolutely do.
clarity out.
Yes,
Clarity
absolutely.
out, you're going to get exactly what it is back.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't like to use the word exactly because sometimes it's even better than you could have imagined. So
Yeah.
as long as you're clear on it. Join us every week because we are going to be doing, just as Denise just said, putting the practical and the universal energies, things together so that you can actually put this in use in your everyday life. You can use universal energies to your benefit to create the life that you desire. So it's out there for you. Why not use it?
And we've got some incredible months coming up. So with next month, April, is a spiritual month. And then we go into an 8-month in May where your manifesting skills, Cathlene, are just going to be on fire. That's like your month coming up. So yes, please do join us.
Yes, we'll see you soon and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe and follow us at our links at CathleenMiner.com and for Denise at Spiritual Queens Rising on Facebook. Manifest your life on purpose because you can.